All right, guys, here we are. We're out in the fishing mobile, bright and early. Nah, just kidding. It's currently like 10 o'clock. It's the opposite of bright and early. We had plans to get up bright and early, and it was 40 degrees and raining, and I just didn't really feel like dealing with that this morning. But 10 o'clock it is. It's all right. We gotta get out in the kayak. Since last time we made a kayak trip, I've changed a couple things, which you guys saw. Stupid stuff. I upgraded my seat, which was kind of a mod. Upgraded it for cheap, just for some extra comfort. But I also, which I don't think I made a video on, just because it's so basic and everybody has it. I just put some camera mounts, new camera mounts, on my black pack. So now I kind of got like a mobile station wherever I go, whether I'm in my buddy's boat or in my kayak. I just grab one thing and I have a camera set up as well as some basic tackle. So we're gonna go hit the water and try that out. We've modified both those things weeks ago at this point, between the rain on the weekends and just, you know, life in general, just being busy. I haven't even tried it out in the kayak. I've used the box a bunch of times on my buddy's boat so far, so I know that's cool. I'm gonna try out the seat. I think today our goal is going to be to toss some big swim baits around. I got my swim bait rod in the back. We're past the fall transition here in New York, honestly. It's been so cold, it's probably almost like winter transition conditions. I know it's a little early for that, but that's what it feels like. They're still hitting moving baits. I've been having luck on a lot of chatter baits, spinner baits. I haven't had to resort to Ned rig drop shot, not yet. It's coming soon, I know that. It's getting colder and colder. Like I said, it's 40 degrees and rainy again this morning. If our nights and everything keeps getting so cold, coupled with this rain, I mean, water temps are dropping rapidly. So anyway, I'll see you down at the water. We're gonna get rigged up. Like I said, we'll throw a big swim bait or two on. I'm probably throwing some crankbaits and some spinner baits, maybe some jerk baits, see what the water looks like when we get there. We got two spots we're gonna try. If the first one doesn't pan out, we'll hit the second spot. Well, naturally my camera died mid-clip because I'm such a professional. I left the house with a dead battery. So we are back. As I was trying to say, we've got two spots in mind for today. We're hoping the first one pans out because I'm gonna be honest, it's probably good fishing conditions. It's overcast, slightly chilly. I'm just feeling kind of lazy. So I'm hoping we only got to put in the water at one location. We can make a video out of it. You know, we're still doing some testing with that new MGL 70. Love it so far. Love the Bass X rod it's on. We're doing some testing with the kayak, like we said, with our little seat mod. And yeah, so we're gonna see what we can get on. Swim baits, hopefully big swim baits. It's probably what we'll start the day with, so that we can get frustrated and not get on a fish early on and have a good day. So I will see you guys at the water. My camera didn't die. We made it through the clip. See you guys in a few. That's a beautiful thing, people. Looks like we're the only ones here today. And to launch here, you have to just drive straight down into the water. No, obviously I'm kidding. Quick rant before we launch. Don't be this guy. This is not a thing we do. Don't be that guy. Nuisance invasive species disposal. That's for plants and animals that are invasive, not garbage. Do better. Let me see. Got our trusty dusty swim bait box here. Let's see what we're gonna tie on. We got our custom painted flow glider here, which is hideous, and for whatever reason, you can't even see it. But this was modified, and I think we're gonna bring this. And we've got the rest of them here. This is where we're gonna start. We're gonna tie on this guy. Double pitson knot for all your big baits. Fluorocarbon, best fluorocarbon knot there is. It's actually not even technically a knot, it's a cinch. So, in theory, aside from your line snapping, it really can't come untied. Because the nature of it being a cinch knot, not a typical knot, gets tighter the more you yank on it. I painted this thing with a marker. Paint's coming off of my hand, so this thing will probably be back to its stock color by the end of the day. That's okay. We want to repaint it anyway. Alright. So that's bait number 1 for today. Now, as I said, it's about, let me be accurate here. It is currently 50 degrees out. It was about 40 degrees this morning. We'll go with a paddle tail, 3.75 Kitech with a custom flash underspin. I'll bring a drop shot because you always need a drop shot. And we'll grab one more, which is going to be our chatterbait rod. Alright guys, let's hit the water. I didn't bring my anchor pin. We don't use it too much on this body. Alright guys, let's get it. Listen, you guys always flame me in the comments for my socks with my sandals. It's chilly. You guys are gonna have to put up with it. Also, socks with slides is common where I'm from. Just put that out there. I'm not that weird. I'm not that weird. Look at all the bait I just spooked. I don't know if you guys could see that. Look at that. That's a good sign. Look at that. Wow. I've never seen the bait moving like that here. Oh, this is the best conditions I've ever had on this lake. Glass. Look at that. Absolute glass. There's little to no wind. Wish I had some wood to knock on, because I probably just jinxed myself. Every time I come out here, the wind just is ripping. Okay, late start, but I'm happy we're out here now, fellas. I'm feeling great. This is beautiful fishing conditions. We're gonna start right over here. Usually you can pull a couple out off the edge of these reeds. Pads, excuse me. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is take my ugly 5-year-old flow glider. And I call it 5-year-old not because it's 5-year-old, but because it looks like a 5-year-old painted it. We're gonna start with that, guys. We modified this thing quite a bit from its stock form. As you can see, we got some solder on there to help it sink, and we modified the angle quite a bit. We could have even went heavier with how we modified the angle, the action, whatever you want to refer to it as, but that's okay. It does better than it did from stock, and that was our purpose. I don't know if you guys can see this, but modifying it definitely. Oh, I'm in the pad. I'm an amateur. What I was trying to say though is this flow glider, I have to be honest, I don't love this bait. I modified this thing substantially. Gave it some angle. It's got some action now, which it didn't when it was stock. I mean, these things have little to no action. Stock, I don't know if you guys watch Ben Milliken. Obviously, he's a big Sixth Sense guy, one of their team guys. Even he says to modify these, but I'll tell you what, even after modifying it, the action's better, but this thing has a real tendency to get stuck. And I oiled this, I filed down the wire, I worked it back and forth, I yanked on it, I filed down the plastic that pinches the wire, and it's just, it'll stick. Once it's under the water, it'll stick like that. I don't know if you guys can see that. It'll stick like that. When you go to work it back the other way, it'll just do this weird spiraling thing. Not all the time. I'm trying to fish it more, thinking that maybe if I break it in more, it'll stop happening. But you know, I've got to be honest, it's not great. Let's just put it that way. It's a cheapo, so it's to be expected. It is starting to rain a little bit, which was also expected. It always rains anymore here in New York. It's all it does every weekend. I will say this though, one thing modifying this bait does, it does allow us to get it to turn around. I can get it to whip right around on itself. So if we get any followers and I just give it one of those, let it turn around, strike. I don't know if you guys can see that out there. I don't know what that is. Those carp? Those might be carp. We're gonna find out. What was that? I spooked it away. I should have paid attention first more. But I scared it. Whatever it was. By casting right behind it. I feel like you don't typically see bass hang out at the surface. Like you'll see them bust on bait and stuff. But like that one, I saw the back of the fish, the head came out of the water, the mouth came out of the water a few times, and like, I don't know, it's just not typical bass behavior in my opinion, so I'm pretty sure that was a carp. It's just typically not what you'd see bass behavior, so I'm just pretty sure that was carp. There's one. There's one. There's one. Let's go. He's not good, but he's not terrible either. Let's go. Let's try not to get the reel soaking wet. I'm tangled here, fellas. There we go. Whew, that was terrible. I was all tangled up. Don't shake whatever you do, guy. I really don't want to tear your gills all up. Decent one, guys. It's got to be an almost 2-pounder to start the day. We'll take that first bite on the glide bait. I wasn't expecting it at all. You know what? Let's put him on the scale. Let's just see. We got a 192 glide bait eater. All right, give you guys one last look. It's a healthy fish. Go ahead and get him back. And there he goes. This water's cold, cold, cold. Don't know the temperature because I don't have electronics. I just know it's cold. All right, we got glide bait eaters. We got glide bait eaters. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, my battery almost went in the water. That's fun. My battery's about to fall out and I have my door open. But we got glide bait eaters, so even if we lost the battery, who cares? All right, guys, let's get back in there.
Let's check it out, make sure our line's all right. We did lash her a little bit because we were tangled at the end here. No nicks. We got 20 pounds, so we're okay. Get rid of this backlash. And let's get back to some glide bait eaters, man. He crushed that thing too. It was funny because he hit it right as I gave it a nice twitch. It was just instant weight. Like, he didn't think about it. It was full commit. I thought I was in a pad. I was talking and I'm like, oh. And then I was like, that's a fish. And I thought about it for half a second. I'm like, I'm gonna look stupid because I'm probably in a pad. Nope. We got a glide bait eater. And this thing's painted with markers. So that just tells you. It's got a 5-year-old pattern on it that I did with markers. It looks like crap. I'm gonna be completely honest. The fish don't care. We accomplished our goals, guys. I know it's only one fish, but we've only been here, I've only been filming for 38 minutes. So we'll call it 35 minutes of fishing. By the time I had that fish on, that ain't bad. I'll take that. See, that's what we needed, because now I have confidence. Now I'm like, okay, they're here, they're eating bait fish. Glide bait no longer seems like a fallacy, something we're throwing for fun. Of course, it's still fun to throw, but we're gonna get some glide bait eaters. That 2-pounder wanted that. I always feel bad, man, because they're like, man, I got me a nice, easy, good meal. I'm gonna feed up for the winter time. Nah, give me that lip, boy. Give me that lip. Anyway, I only feel bad for a second because I put him back to go wrangle some actual, go take you down some actual bait fish. Grow up, and then I'll come back, crack you again. Ah yes, the combo. We didn't speak about the combo. This is my go-to swim bait combo. This is a Daiwa Fuego cheap reel, 6.3 to 1 ratio. You can speed it up if you want. It's easy to slow down, not get these glide baits to ball up on themselves. It's a little bit more heavy duty. I don't remember what size it is, 200, I think. It's my go-to size. I'm not a big 300 size guy. I don't throw any giant 4-ounce glide baits. I don't need something that aggressive. And it's on a Daiwa Tatula XT, which is a 7.4 heavy, fast action, which they didn't have a moderate fast. That's what I would have gotten. It'd be a moderate or mod fast. It does the trick. You just have to make sure, you know, you pay attention, pay a little extra care to keep these fish pinned. But it's a great setup. You can use it for other stuff. Top water, good jig rod, 20-pounder Braze X. Well, the good news is that while it is raining, it's not too bad. It's tolerable. We got one? We do have one. Whoa, he's hooked crazy. That's why I couldn't tell. Look at this. He swiped at it and I got him in the back. He's foul hooked. Sorry, guy. Please don't hook me. Guy, you're causing chaos right now. All right, well, that's number 2. Unfortunately, it's not how we want to see him hooked. But, you know, it's the name of the game. He swiped at it. Sometimes you get smoked. There's our second glide bait eater. Not an ideal catch. I kind of foul hooked him. But hey, I mean, when you look at it, he swiped it. That just bait is just as big as he is. I mean, not literally, but there's another almost 2-pounder. Sorry about the foul hook. Yeah, he's okay. He don't care. Let's go. I knew there was a slight drop off. I didn't know exactly where. So I'm gonna be honest, I just turned around and cast it into open water. And I didn't even tell I had a fish. I'm like, man, this thing feels weird. I felt something like shaking, but didn't feel like bass head shakes. So I'm like, okay, something's funny. Well, it was just the hook. Foul hooked. That's what was funny. Now, of course, the rain picked up because I had to say it's tolerable. So why wouldn't it pick up? Now let's see if there was any chance of that being a little school. A lot of times these fish will group up this time of the year, especially if that one happened to be there because there was a bait ball. Then there would be a reason for more bass to be around. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see exactly what we're working with. All right, so here's our plan. We're gonna make a little move. There's a creek channel down here. I'm getting tired of fighting this wind. My hands are freezing. I'm hoping that if I get down into this creek channel, the little bit of protection on either side from the wind might make this a little bit more bearable. My one GoPro, I'm an amateur. Today I left my big camera, battery was dead, GoPro memory card's about to be full, and I don't know if I've dumped everything that's on it yet. So it's amateur hour, but we did get some glide bait fish, so I guess you can't fully say it's amateur hour if you did accomplish your goal. It's cold, as I've been saying. I'm looking for glide bait fish. We're gonna hit this creek channel in the fall. It's a good spot to look for fish. A lot of times they push into that mouth of these creek channels. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of reprieve from the wind in here. I've got 6 minutes on this GoPro memory card, so we'll probably be heading out shortly after that. I don't want to fumble around and look through clips that I can delete on the water. I was right. We're not even in here yet. The wind is lesser. You can see some calm water up there the further you get in. And it's funny how, I mean, the trees that are tall are still, you know, 100 yards away from me, 50 yards on either side. And they're enough to break up the wind. So if you're on a kayak getting beat up by the wind, look for these little creek channels, these little mouths of these creeks. Give yourself some reprieve like I am. You guys probably know that. I'm rambling. I'm cold, so I'm rambling. Procrastinating. Let's get some fish. We just got bumped by something, guys. We have a follower. We sure do. Look at that. First cast in this creek channel, we had a follower. He bumped me. He was tiny. No way he was eating this. You can't skip a dock in the fall, even if you're on your way off the water. Gotta fish the dock. That's just law. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. And there's one. And that's why you always fish the docks. That's why you always fish the docks. Because they're here. That's why you always fish the docks. Alright guys, so that's our third glide bait eater. Let me get him unhooked here so I don't get hooked. Another decent one, another almost 2-pounder, pound and a half at least. Other GoPro's dead. There he goes. Take one more cast here, and then we'll be getting off the water. But like I said, man, it's the law. In the fall time, you have to fish a dock. If you see one, it's the law to fish it. And that's why 3-4 casts at the dock. Not a big one, but we found one that wanted to eat. I wanted to get him up under there, but my skills are not as good as my desires. There we go. Now he's up under there. Skip him under there. Let him sit. Now I scared any fish that might be there. That aggressive skip job. All right, we're heading in. That dock only produced one for us. But hey, that's why you always stop and fish your docks, especially in the fall. Especially if you've got a bait like a glide bait tied up, something that can draw them out. And yeah, that guy wasn't even up under the dock. He was tucked along the foot of the dock. There's some metal pipes there. So he was sticking to that hard cover on the dock. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what type of video you guys like to see in the next one. What baits do you want to see? You guys want to see a lure making video? I've been thinking about doing a video on getting started custom painting. Let me know if you guys would be interested. Anyways, see you in the next one.